Hey guys, welcome back to another video. First let me say Merry Christmas, or Happy Hanukkah, or Happy Saturnalia, or Merry Yule, or Happy Kwanzaa, or whatever else there is to celebrate. If you celebrate it, happy that. Or just Happy Wednesday. So I'd like to welcome our new flerf members to the community. That's how you know you're starting to get somewhere, is when flerfs start crawling out of their holes to troll your comment section with the same derpy, regurgitated stuff they've heard flat earth priests repeat over and over. Guess I've got to be doing something, right? This video is dedicated to those newbies, the fresh fish and the fobs. To those of you who found my channel through your normal means of disinformation and have come to bless us all with your hilarious comments about how gravity is just a theory and how you can't have gas pressure without a container, or how I'm lying to my audience. The irony of that last one is so juicy and tasty. So first up is Arkham Asylum. I'm assuming he was a Ditterhove fan, since so far he's only commented on the videos where I corrected Ditter's bullshit. His first comment really set the stage for a long and prosperous relationship, and gave me the feeling that he's got an open mind and will definitely engage in serious conversation. He says, "You are such a bullshit artist, LOL. GTFOOH. Well, thanks, Arkham. I actually am an artist. I've been sketching since I was a kid, and then moved on to charcoal after that, and then in college went for digital art like illustration and graphic design, so thanks for noticing, man." His next comment was an interesting one. He said, "Look at NASA's rocket, lol. Like a blimp / big balloon." Well, let's take a look at the link. The link takes us to an article on CNET talking about how NASA is testing one of their tanks. The video was posted to Twitter on Monday by NASA's administrator. He said the tank withstood more than 260% of expected flight loads before buckling and rupturing. You see, I'll be honest, man. I am no engineer of any sort. I'm not a rocket scientist. So when the people who are rocket scientists, and that have spent over a decade in school studying this stuff, and then their entire working careers after college working on this stuff, designing and developing and testing rockets, when they tell me that that's what they're showing me, I believe it. Not because I'm a NASA shill, but because I have no reason to not believe it. Look at the pictures. Look at the video. It looks like a big metal cylinder being blown out by pressure. Now, I don't know what kind of balloons or blimps you've been looking at, but I assure you, this is not one of those. There's another thing in this comment thread that he said that I figure I'll cover. Not that I really care what he thinks, or think that my normal audience has some overwhelming concern that I'm doing this, but just to clear the air, since he brought it up. He said you edited his video to not show his point, and that I should link to his original post out of fairness. Well, first off, man, I don't edit anything out that I don't have to. Unless the video is exceptionally long, I leave in as much of it as possible. Okay? Regardless of what you think, Flat Earth is ridiculous, and it's just completely stupid. Okay, it's comedy, right? Comedy gold. So me editing out parts of his video to lessen his point is in turn doing him a favor, because it makes him look less stupid, and that's not a favor I'm willing to do for a flat earther. So like I said in the comment, man, I don't edit out things unless the video is over 30 minutes long. His point was not edited out. And if you have a concern about his video, go look him up. Look up DITRH on YouTube. Look for the one talking about blimps. There it is. Compare them and draw your own conclusions. Now, I will say sometimes I have to edit things out if there's a song playing in the background that I don't have rights to share, because, YouTube will ding it, and I have two options. I can either edit out the song or completely get rid of the audio and add my own audio, which I've done in his videos before. But I'm not editing out his point on purpose, if at all. Trust me, I want there to be as much comedy in this video as possible. Then to really drive home the wrong assumption that fuel tanks on rockets are really balloons, he says this: NASA is the #1 consumer of helium in the world. What he didn't say is why NASA uses so much helium. But of course he didn't. Why would he give the explanation behind his comment when he can just say it and act like it means something? So once again, let's head over to his link and see what it says, and see if it says anything about why NASA uses so much helium. This link takes us to Science News, talking about NASA placing a $56.5 million order for a 5-year helium supply. The first couple paragraphs talk about the 5 companies that they get it from and how much they get, which is 12.5 million liters of liquid helium and roughly 6 million cubic meters of gaseous helium. But the third one is the interesting one. It says NASA uses helium as a cryogenic agent for cooling various materials in precision welding applications, lab use, as an inert purge gas for hydrogen systems, and as a pressurizing agent for the space shuttle's ground and flight fluid systems. So did you read this article, Arkham? Or did you just find it on the interwebs and link to it to utterly destroy me in the comments? Maybe you should have read it, man. It might have saved you some public embarrassment. Now he switches gears here a little bit and says, Flat Earth with a dome in an old Encyclopedia Americana. Ah yes, the excerpt of the Encyclopedia Americana where they say they saw a dome on Antarctica. The only problem with this, Arkham, is that when you use the word dome, you're talking about a big magical snow globe that some god put there to cordon off the Earth from whatever is outside. But when geologists use the same word, it means something quite different. Let's take a look at the definition of the word as geologists use it. Dome, in geology, any large or elliptical structure formed by a fractureless upwarping of rock strata. It is a type of anticline that lacks clear-cut elongation and that slopes outward in all directions from the highest point. Not a big glass bubble. What do you think, Jism?
Interesting.
I know, right? Then he had a couple comments that were less amusing and then had this to say. Give us proof of a ball Earth. Give us proof of Earth spinning. How can our pressurized atmosphere exist next to a vacuum of space? No scientists have proven the Earth spins, not even Einstein, and gravity is a theory. Don't mislead your subscribers. The burden of proof is in you. Since Arkham doesn't care about facts anyway, I'll go really quickly over this. Here is a picture of the Earth from space. If you want proof of the Earth spinning, ask Bob from Globebusters.
But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15 degree per hour drift.
How can our pressurized atmosphere exist next to the vacuum of space? It doesn't. There's a gradient. It doesn't go 14.7 psi and then bam, right next to the vacuum of space. No scientist has ever proved Earth spins, not even Einstein. Ask Bob from Globebusters.
We were picking up a drift, a 15 degree per hour drift. Obviously, we were taken aback by that. Wow, that's kind of a problem, right?
Yeah, you could say that. Gravity is a theory. That's correct. But a scientific theory and a non-scientific theory are two totally different things, much like dome in Antarctica. A scientific theory is based on careful examination of facts. You know, evidence and stuff.
Interesting.
And last, but certainly not least, water always finds its level. Gravity is a theory. Again with the gravity. If gravity can hold trillions of tons of seawater down, how can birds fly? Water always remains level. Well, like I said in my reply, water doesn't find anything. It's water. It conforms to whatever container it's in. And if the container is an earth, it's going to conform to the shape of that earth, which is a sphere. If gravity can hold trillions of tons of seawater down, how can birds fly? Well, the strength of gravity is determined by the masses of the two objects that are being pulled together. Okay, and I'm sure you'll agree that a trillion gallons of seawater weighs a lot more than a bird. So therefore, the strength of gravity's pull on the trillion tons of seawater is going to be exponentially higher than it is on a bird. That's why birds evolved to have hollow bones, to reduce their weight, thus reduce the force of gravity that they have to overcome with their wings. Wings that the trillion tons of seawater doesn't have. Well, I guess that'll do it for this one. If you like my content and would like to see more of it, please give the video a like, please give the channel a subscribe, and please come back next time. Until then, have a good day.